Good afternoon, students. So let us continue our vertebrae anatomy. So today we are going to discuss about the thoracic vertebrae. In the last lecture we have discussed about the cervical vertebra. So today we are going to discuss about the another region of the vertebral column, and that is the thoracic. So thoracic are 12 in number. So as you can see here, so these are all the thoracics. So let us count first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 thoracic bones in our vertebral column. As you can see that thoracic is larger and thicker than the cervical, but it is thin as well as small than the lumbar. So this is the first thing you must remember. So it is recognized by the presence of the costal facet. So here you can see these are the costal facets. So from here you can identify that this is a type of the thoracic. Why why there is a facet? Because it attached with the ribs. So you must remember that out of 12 it is further classified into the typical as well as the atypical. So the typical are from 2 to 8. These all are known as the typical because their shape is same as well as their characteristics are same. But the first, the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, these are known as the atypical. So first we will see the parts of a thoracic vertebra. So this is the thoracic vertebra 1. Okay. So first we will see the parts of this vertebra. As you can see, this is the body, this is the vertebral arch. Okay. Now what you have to remember is that there is a vertebral foramen, as we have discussed earlier. This part is known as the superior part, this part is known as the inferior part, and this part is known as the anterior part, and this part is known as the posterior. So this part is anterior, then posterior, and then superior part, and this one is the inferior part. Now this we have already discussed in the last video that this is known as the vertebral body. Here you can see it is little bit smaller. Then here you can say this whole is known as the vertebral column. Now the vertebral foramen. Here you can see the vertebral foramen is small. This is known as the spinous process, and this part is known as the lamella. Okay. Now this part is known as the pedicle. Here you can say there is a facet is there. Now this is the superior articular facet, and after that here you can say this is the inferior articular facet. So that you have to remember. Apart from that, you can see here this is the transverse process. Now there is a no transverse foramen in this type of the vertebra, that you have to remember. Apart from that, the important thing you must remember, the ribs is attached to the thoracic vertebra, so there is a facet is there. So the two facets are there. This is known as the superior facet and this is known as the inferior facet. Okay, so you must remember these two are very important. Okay, and these are known as the costal facet. So this is the superior costal facet and this is the inferior costal facet. So this is all about the general anatomy of the thoracic vertebra. So as we have discussed the characteristics of the thoracic vertebra, now we will see the atypical thoracic vertebra. So as you can see, these all are the atypical thoracic vertebra. So that is 1, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So here you can say this vertebra, this is the T1. It is most resembled to the cervical vertebra. Moreover, you can see here the upper surface is somewhere beveled anteriorly. Here you can see this is anteriorly somewhere like that. Apart from that, you must remember that here it has this costal facet is there. So that is superior costal facet and this is the anterior costal facet. Now this will articulate with the head of the first rib. Apart from that, you must see this thing, the spine is thick as well as the long and it's nearly horizontal. So that is specific about the first thoracic vertebra. Now we will see the 9th one. So here you can say this is the 9th one. Now you remember one thing, that there is only one costal superior facet and there is no inferior facet is present in the ninth one. So that's why it is different from the other. Now this is the 10th thoracic vertebra. You must remember one thing, that also in this, that the costal facet is only one. There is no inferior facet is present there, and apart from that you can remember that this is going along with the pedicle. Now this is the 11th. So it has a single large facet. You can see here it is having a single large facet that is present. So that how you can differentiate between the 10 and 11. So it is little bit difficult when you see the 10 and 11, but you must remember that this facet is large of 10 thoracic 11 compared to the thoracic 10. So that is how you can differentiate between 10 and 11. Now this is the last thoracic. It is the 12th number. Now it is almost same, but you can see here that it is somewhere similar to the lumbar vertebra because it is more close to the lumbar. So you must remember that thoracic 1 and thoracic 12, these are somewhere in the place where the transition is occurred. That's why this shape is somewhere resemble to the next vertebra. So that's why the thoracic 1 resemble to the cervical and the thoracic 12 will resemble to the lumbar one. So that is all about. So you must remember all these things. Let us summarize once again about the parts. So you can see this is the body part, okay. Then here you can say this part is known as the lamella. This is the spine process. This is the pedicle. This is the superior articulating facet. Then this is the inferior articulating facet. Then you can see this is the facet that articulates with the ribs. So that is the costal facets are present. This is superior, this is inferior, this is the transverse process. You must remember that there is no transverse foramen is present in the thoracic, only the vertebral foramen is present. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.